Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Great Malabite.
Good morning, Ruben.
Thank God it's Friday.
Good morning, Rufai.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Victoria Tundu, MK Abiola.
Good morning, Faith.
Looking very elegant in that floral outfit.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Ruben, don't be jealous.
Great Malabite.
Yes, let's start the review with this day. Nigeria's newspaper of records. The lead story, NGF, the Nigerian Governors Forum, 30% frontier exploration. Host communities, 3% deplete federation account. Says governors will exhaust all options before going to the court. That's Governor Fahmi, the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, speaking. Pledges to work with PIA Implementation Committee. Presidency says concern to be addressed through amendment. Silver, upstream regulator, not NNPC, will handle proceeds from Federation crude. Says only political Niger Delta complaining about 3% host communities fund. What does that mean? I am complaining, am I a political Niger Delta? No. Act has changed Cross River, says Ben Ayade, governor of Cross River State, who recently defected to the APC to get a fair deal for his people. Now he's crying that the PIA should change his people. Now this story, yesterday, the governor of Ekiti State, who is also the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, was on our program, Newsday, where he dealt with a number of issues. I don't agree with him on why, you know my position on the 30%, but the reasons for which I disagree with that amount is quite different from the governors. They're thinking of what is going into the sharing pot. But I was saying before it was signed that 30% of profit to explore frontier basins, irrespective of where part of the country that basin is a business decision that should be taken by an ongoing commercial concern, not a political decision that should be written into the law. Because a commercial NNPC Limited, will look at better options to invest its profit, and that has always been my point. As for the 3%, we insist 3% is too small for the host communities who bear 100% of the brunt of exploration and exploitation of crude oil in the country. Now, let's look at other papers reporting this story. The Daily Independent newspaper, projects, host communities 3% for projects not sharing, according to Akpabio. Godswill Akpabio, the Minister of Niger Delta Ministry, says forensic audit report ready, awaiting submission to Buhari, insists section 1 to 4 of the East-West Road must be completed in 2022. And I say it is about time, because that road has been under construction for quite some time now. If under the administration of President Buhari, that can be completed, I think it will also be salutary to his legacy. Now, the Guardian newspaper, federal character, gender gap, dogged PIA as federal government inaugurates committee. NNPC to eliminate loss-making subsidiaries under new legislation. Niger Delta Ministry seeks control of 3% for host communities. PIA has changed Cross River. Ayade cries out. Host communities deserve 5%, according to Peter Obi, the presidential aspirant, I will call him, of Southeast extraction. Governors will work with PIA Implementation Committee, Fahmi, Now, the Business Day newspaper, new oil law pave way for Nigeria to attract private capital. Vanguard newspaper, talking about security. Aftermath of meeting with security chiefs, shape up. I am not leaving office a failure. President Buhari speaking, threatens to rejig security heads if necessary, to announce plans for repentant terrorists. Battling insecurity in one corner of Nigeria doesn't make it a failed state. Lai Mohammed adds, Nigeria can't go Afghanistan way. Views by government officials show they are not in touch with reality. Afenifere, there are problems, but Nigeria not a failed state. Arewa Consultative Forum. Government has failed in its duty to protect lives and property, says Ohaneze Ndigbo. Stop standing truth on its head. Nigeria, already a failed state. Middle Belt Forum. Nigeria near failed state. ADF. Federal government downplaying crisis in Nigeria. Pandef. Nigeria's security architecture has collapsed. Can insist. That's the Christian Association of Nigeria. Different views on the state of security in the country. But the president saying he will not leave office a failure. Well, he has talked about Nigerians being kind to him when he leaves office. He shouldn't bother about failure now. When he leaves office, the verdict will be out, the jury will be out on his tenure, but he has time, 2 years, to work to ensure that he doesn't leave office a failure. But as to that charge to security chiefs, at a time, the military high command seemed to be upping the ante, hitting the bandits hard. They are getting this threat from the president. Well, I hope I had wished the president used this kind of term when we were begging, cajoling, and asking for the change of the former service chiefs. But let's move on. But before I leave the Vanguard newspaper, of course, Olu's coronation, Warri Agog wears new look. Yes, I touched base with my people in Warri. Everywhere is calm, glittering, ready for the coronation of Omoba Shola Emiko tomorrow in Warri. It will take place in Ode Shekiri, and that everybody is looking out for that. Ogiame, sure, from tomorrow, that will be the greeting. And of course, from tomorrow, we will know his new title, Ogiame. You don't second guess that. We only get that after the coronation tomorrow. Move on to other subjects or other papers. Leadership Friday. Masari Self-Defense Corps. It's better to buy arms than to pay ransom, says Katsina government. I won't leave Nigeria in crisis. PMB, our soldiers winning war against terror. Federal government will not answer alleged rights abuses by troops. Nigeria tells US. Yes, for those who have been lambasting the Katsina State Governor, Aminu Masari, over his call that we should all pick or buy AK-47 to withstand these bandits. Despite the fact that there is a law that controls firearms, the governor is replying, it is better to buy arms than to pay bandits. But does he know the law? He should know the law. Now, the Punch newspaper, PDP peace pact crumbles. Obasanjo secondus in closed-door meeting. The state of the party's weakest group kick as secondus plan October National Convention shifts. Fresh neck meeting may hold. National Working Committee members disagree over zoning plan. Yes, PDP still at war against itself. I don't want to say perpetually at war. Ruben, you know where that came from.
The atomistic society.
Yes, perpetually at war against itself. Yes, you have to be an alumnus of the University of Calabar to know the origin of that.
Professor Emmanuel.
Yes. Now,
Ayodele.
The New Telegraph newspaper, still on the state of the political parties. 100 APC members drag Buni-led caretaker committee, others to court, seek dissolution of committee, nullification of their action. How APC can retain power beyond 2023. Lawan. That is after they have put their house in order. Now, the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Buhari moves to retrieve 368 grazing reserves in 25 states. Sets up committee to confirm status to gazette ungazetted reserves. Tundu the lawyer. I don't want to say Tundu the businessman now. Tundu the lawyer. We have laws in this country.
We certainly do. I just don't understand why this is a hill the president has chosen to die on. I don't understand it.
Let's just look at it this way. We have the Land Use Act, which is been incorporated into the Constitution.
Yeah, and that vests ownership of land in the governor.
All land, whether you call it grazing route or whatever, under the control of governors. Before the 1979, when the military boys brought this land use decree, which was shifted into the Constitution, land belonged to the communities. So where is the president coming from? Going back to colonial era? Wants to take us so far back in time?
It's
and in terms of cattle rearing, there are best practices. Everybody is talking about ranching, and the president is talking about reclaiming roots.
Can you just imagine in 2021?
Just before I through to you, every Fulani man that is educated, I will ask him this question: why do you wish the cattle rearer to be moving in the bush with his children, not giving them education?
Well,
and you want to continue this practice? I think somebody should advise the president accordingly. He sets up committee to confirm status to gazette ungazetted reserves. I think the states that have opted for no open grazing should continue with what they are doing. And you know, a number of northern states have also joined this clamor. No to open grazing. Now, if I just go to the foreign newspapers quickly, before I come over to you. The Guardian newspaper of UK, Raab refused to take calls during fall of Afghanistan. Dominic Raab, the foreign secretary, is under increasing pressure to resign because he went on leave and literally found out all his duties to juniors. And when Afghanistan was falling, he was nowhere to be found. And a number of MPs, including his own party MPs, Lib Dems, the Democrats, the Labour, Lib Dems, as well as the Scottish National Party, they are all calling for him to resign. Or Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, should sack him. Let's just look at the papers in the US. Wall Street Journal, protests in Afghanistan widen as US works to ease exit. How far can those protests go? New York Times is also reporting tightening grip, Taliban silence foes, and dissent, arrest, and reports of reprisal killings. Of course, that is the way of the Taliban. They don't change. Ruben Rufai.
Well, quickly,
and
with regard to what has become now known as the Raab scandal. Yes, the papers are squaring Dominic Raab, but would the Prime Minister sack him? Will he resign? And he's not the only critical person. Permanent secretaries in the Foreign Office, in the Defense Office, and in the Home Office, they are all on holiday. But in the case of Dominic Raab, he's been accused of disappearing. And even the lie that was put out by the Foreign Office, that a junior minister made a call, nobody made any call. However, you know, President Biden has been defending himself, I think, well, don't let me use a strong word, I wanted to say shamelessly, by saying that, look, the UK and NATO allies could have stayed back if they wanted to.
Yeah,
that they didn't need to follow.
Let's put up that paper there.
Yeah,
Telegraph of UK.
That they didn't need to follow the lead of the United States. But we all know that the United States created the mess in Afghanistan, promoted it, encouraged it, and at the end of the day, pulled out in a rather shoddy manner. That point needs to be made. Second, as to open grazing that you were discussing with Tundu, I said earlier that I don't understand why this would be a priority for a president of Nigeria who at this time should be trying to build bridges, should be trying to build a legacy, rather than being seen to be supporting, ethnic and sectional interests. And I think it's scandalous that President Buhari is even saying this should be treated with dispatch. 25 states, those 25 states that have been mentioned with regard to this committee that has been set up should be identified. Because as I said earlier, in a ruling, I said 1964 earlier, that was wrong. It was 1969 in Abeokuta, a ruling by Justice Adewale Thompson, AB/26/66, that it was ruled that open grazing was not allowed. It would be illegal in the southern part of Nigeria. And the 17 southern states have also taken such a position. And that particular ruling has not been appealed. There's no appeal on it. And so in the southern states, that's the position of the law. And I doubt very much if the people of the Middle Belt would allow open grazing, considering the kind of reports that we have had on this issue. This should not be a priority. Gazetting on gazetted.
There's a law in Benue banning open grazing.
Yes.
So what is the president saying? To defy that law?
There are states that have gone to court in that regard. And then you were waxing lyrical about the coronation tomorrow in Ode Ishekiri.
Yes.
Okay, well, I know you are a member of the royal family. From your mother's side. Have you people found a crown? Would there be a coronation without a crown?
Ruben.
And then in neighboring Edo State, there's also another coronation. The coronation of the Sultan of the Shua Arab in Edo State.
That's the Daily Sun newspaper. Everyone can just put up that.
Okay, so
the Daily Sun newspaper.
So, which of these are you going to attend? Are you going to Ode Ishekiri? And well, I hope you will find a crown before tomorrow morning.
Ruben,
this is the situation in Warri at the moment.
The Olu will be crowned tomorrow. That is for certain, by the grace of God. So
without a crown, as a prince, are you one of the princes who have information about the missing crown?
No. You know, the last time my forebears intervened in matters of coronation, of ascending the throne, it was followed by interregnum. And of course, the role, my forebear, Princess Uwala played there. After that, there was 88 years interregnum in Warri. So I don't have a role, Ruben.
Real quickly, Mr. Ifeni, I just want to bring to all of us the issue on one of the front page of the dailies that says Gani Adams was stating that 3 billion has been paid in ransom to bandits in the southwest. Let's not just overlook that story. We need to investigate. Security agencies need to investigate. All hands must be on deck.
No, Ruben, all you need to do is compute what families have paid, and you will get the figure.
Because the truth is, we can't allow for banditry to become an industry. If 3 billion can be collected in ransom, why don't we just quote bandits on the Nigerian Stock Exchange then? If that's the kind of country we want to build for ourselves, why don't we just put Bandits Incorporated on the Nigerian Stock Exchange? Because it's a good business now that people can make 3 billion. How many businesses are making 3 billion in this country?
Rufai, that's why as a nation we have to smash banditry, kidnapping, and all such criminality. No nation, what it sought, would put up with that for so long.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. If I don't hear from you tomorrow, I know you are in Ode Ishekiri. Okay, we now have live pictures of the pre-coronation activities of the Olu of Warri scheduled to hold tomorrow in Warri, Delta State. And that's what we have on the screen right now. Okay, well, Warri, you have there, Ode Ishekiri. That's the Great Warri, right? It is called the Big Warri. Well, it's great and big. They sound like the same. But we just hope that all the gladiators will give peace a chance.
Yes.
And that this will go, peacefully. Yes. And that those who are also, that's Omoba Shola Emiko there. Yeah. So it looks like the ceremonies have started. And we hope that even in spite of the battle with the with some of the people within the kingdom, that there will be no fallouts, there will be no violence, and that the security agencies are effectively on the ground to ensure that there is no violence. And that after all of this, the people of Iwere Kingdom can look forward to the future under the leadership of a young, enterprising king who, the big issue that they have thrown up with regard to his nomination, I think is an international issue. And I think, Tunu, this should be of concern to you.
It is.
The major issue in Section 9 of the 1979 edict that they keep referring to is that his mother is not from, the Edo Kingdom, and it's not Ishekiri. His mother, incidentally, is from Abeokuta. So, and the question we have been asking is that this is a violation of the Constitution.
Absolutely.
Which says very clearly that you can't discriminate a person on the basis of the circumstances of birth. If a woman is good enough to produce a prince, that prince should be entitled to full rights under the laws of the community.
Absolutely. Blessed are the sons of Egba mothers.
Yes, and especially the sons of people from Ogun State. And it's really very, amazing that this is happening in our lifetime. But most importantly, let peace reign in Iwere land, because we're concerned parties in all of this. We've watched the stories, we've interviewed both sides, we've given them their own fair share, we've been objective as media. But this celebration is something that everybody should close ranks and come together and become one. Because most importantly, when you look at it, it's for the furtherance of Iwere land, it's for the furtherance, of that community, and to do a lot for the people. The king, might not have that executive power, but he can influence a lot.
Yes.
And there's a lot of restiveness out of Warri and other parts. Warri used to be a beacon of industrial activities before when the oil companies were there, but Warri is not the same again today. It's filled with advanced fee fraud, Yahoo boys, because all those companies have left because of the insecurity in the area. Most of those oil servicing companies have gone and have left that area, and we need to bring those jobs back, to Warri and its environs and make that area really fit for purpose once again. Because when you look at it, that's the heart of the Niger Delta. The state slogan is called the Big Heart. It's where, most of the resources of this country comes from. And you want to see a lot of people living in peace and harmony, and you have education and jobs. And so as a young king, that's what that he can definitely influence. They might not have the executive powers. The British colonialists will have taken away the executive powers, but they have that influential power to move things. So we're looking forward to the coronation. 1,000 police officers deployed there. And, culture at its finest.
It shall be well with the Iwere Kingdom.